Okay, welcome to episode number 3 of Around the Rink. Today we are joined by the owner of Prairie Power Goaltending, Eldon Amendt. Eldon, today we're going to talk about some goalie development. So to kick things off here, how would you define successful goalie development within a team or a minor hockey association?
My development, I guess, successful goaltending development to me means consistent improvement throughout the season. Whether that's from the technical skills to game awareness to enthusiasm, whatever it might be, but it's not truly based on wins and losses, right? There's a lot of other aspects to that. So technical skills and game awareness are probably, and some confidence are probably the ones I would pick on.
So in saying that, how would you integrate goalies into a development plan for a season for a coach?
To me, it all comes from practice planning. Right? So that practice planning has to come into understanding that we need to involve the goaltending, right? Have 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the beginning of every practice, preferably with a dedicated coach, but I know that gets a little hard sometimes, but a dedicated goalie coach, 10, 15 minutes to work on goalie specific technical skills. And then after that, make sure we have some drills that come into play for the goaltender, which almost any drill will work. It's just the flow drills and that practice planning, goaltenders don't get too much out of it. So practice planning, I would say, would be the big one for the coaches.
When you're designing practice plans, what would you say would be the best sort of development when coaches are looking to get their goalies involved in practice and not just develop them through firing shots at them and whatever during practice?
Yeah, so that development comes into whether it's puck movement, whether it's screens, something along that line versus just a stationary shot where the goalie's going to know, hey, this puck's coming in over the blue line. I need to T-push to my left and make a save, right? Those are good shots, but they're not really quality and development. So that development needs to come into game-like situations all the time, and that really helps the players as well, not just the goalies, but that development for real-time scenarios. So screen shots, whether it's recovery, whether it's flash screens, whether it's tracking pucks, all those things play into it, but real-time scenarios really help.
That's great. What would you say to coaches that don't have a goalie coach maybe on hand to work with their goalies? How could just regular coaches get the goalies involved during practice?
I think that the first step would be, best case scenario, is to have someone that has been trained through maybe a Hockey Sask coaching program, or maybe outsourcing and hiring someone like Prairie Power to come out and give them a one-time or 2 or 3 practices, just give them something to look at. But any good goalie coach, or even just a standard coach, can assist the goalies just by getting them into that repetition of, especially in warm-up, just some shots and some tracking, but picking on 2 or 3 things, maybe hands up, hands out, that kind of stuff.
Is there anything you would do differently for the U9, U11, and U13 age goalies in comparison to U15 and U18?
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very good question. There's a lot of different development as you get in and you grow older, with different tiers, different levels, different ages. That U9, U11, U13 are very critical years for a goaltender to get those fundamental technical skills into place, right? You have to be a very good skater. So those skating and technical skills, your proper butterflies, proper hand placement are very crucial in the early years. As you get older, you're going to already have those skills, so you're going to play into factors of gameplay, understanding the breakouts, understanding the penalty kill, that kind of stuff as you get older. But the early years are all about technical skills.
So would you say that the U9, U11, and U13 age goalies should potentially do the skating drills with the players, or would they be better off to do strictly goalie type drills one-on-one with a coach?
From a goalie development standpoint, I would like to see them doing goalie only skating drills at the beginning, but once again, not everybody has a specific goalie coach. So worst case scenario is getting them out there, even if they are doing the standard C cuts with the kids. That's going to be the best case scenario for sure.
And would you do the same thing for U15 and U18 goalies?
I would U15, U18 goalies. I'd like to go into a lot more crease movement versus just the skating, because they should already have those fundamentals in place. So the crease awareness and depth management come into play when you get into the older divisions.
So would you say the U15 and U18, maybe the 15 minutes before or the 10 minutes after, if the time permits, to work on that stuff would be the best case scenario for the development of that goalie?
Absolutely, yeah. Whether it's before or after, but 10 minutes of that would be definitely helpful.
Okay, so what's your approach to balancing winning over the development of goalies in all the age groups? Obviously, U9's not full-time goalies, but you'll by the time the kids are U11, U13, they're starting to become full-time goalies. So what's your approach to balancing winning over developing them?
Yeah, it's as you get older, that team aspect really plays into wins, right? The goal of anything in any sport is to definitely win, right? Every coach wants that, but we still have to take that development into as a priority for sure, and especially in those younger groups. So the U9, U11, U13, the playing time is a must, right? We're looking for development, maybe not wins. Maybe you have one weaker goalie that needs some help versus one stronger one. I would still say that they still need fair playing time to be able to develop those skills. So it's not about winning and losing at this age. It's about development for the long term, right? Wins and losses in U11 don't mean too much. It's all about development so we can get them to those higher levels as needed in the future.
Is there anything else you would like to add for any coaches or goalie coaches or goalies for that matter?
Yeah, just keep in mind development's important. Skating is a huge aspect to goaltending now. If you can't skate, it's going to be very hard to grow and develop. So if we're going to work on anything as we grow, let's work on our skating skills for sure. And as we get older, this is all going to come into personal growth, but your leadership and your confidence and the love for the game is going to be very important to keep you playing.
Yeah, because we've always said, skating for players is the most important part. If you can't skate, you can't play. I would say that'd be the same for the goalies nowadays, 100%. Right? It used to be that, you used to just stick the goalie in there that he wasn't the best skater, but now I think it's flipped the other way.
It's definitely changed for sure. And if you look, the best skaters in U9 typically are your best goalies because they can move around in the crease. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. You want them playing out to be able to support your team, but they're also pretty good in the blue paint.